Hey everybody, good morning. So I thought I'd pop on live today because I wanted to share a few notes with you because I've been reading some posts and stuff that people and messages that people have been sending me, and I see some upcoming themes come up again and again. So are you scared of getting to the end of your life and realize that you've been focusing or putting your energy in the wrong things? And then therefore not living a fulfilled and happy life. I think that this is a common thing, especially in younger people, but also people in midlife. And I've been seeing this. And it's really common, especially among people who are successful on paper, but they don't feel truly happy. And I see this often in intelligent, capable people, and it makes a lot of sense when you understand what's going on. So there's a lot of common myths going around about what makes you fulfilled, what creates a fulfilling life. You know, for example, doing what you enjoy. A lot of people say, do what makes you happy. And while it's not bad advice, and some of us really need this advice, we should do more things that make us happy. It can kind of put us on a hedonistic treadmill sometimes. It's just pleasure seeking and quick joy fixes, right? And of course, that's not the goal. That's not necessarily helpful. It is, of course, important to do things that we enjoy, but that alone is not going to fix this deeper problem when we're talking about becoming truly fulfilled and living deeply satisfying lives. Another common myth is be present, or using mindfulness. Now, I'm a huge proponent of being mindful and using meditation. They're powerful tools and they do help you make you happier in general. But as some of people that have been sending me messages and stuff point out that you can't be. It's difficult to be present all the time. I mean, if you're a monk or you've been meditating for 30 years, you might be a lot better at it, but it's still really hard to be present in every moment. And so short of living in a monastery, that's not, it's great advice. It's not bad advice. It's certainly good advice to be mindful, to be present, but it's not going to exactly fix the problem. And it's not necessarily, it doesn't sound like practical advice when you've just got so many things going on and you might be really busy or you might not feel good. So you're like doom scrolling on your social media to try to get some dopamine hits just to feel good. And being present to your life when it doesn't feel great isn't always helpful, at least in the short term, right? So then there's other advice out there like, okay, well, just go back to nature, go back to like the, I want to say tribal life. We can't exactly go back to tribal life, but a simpler life, right? Like, don't overcomplicate your life. That's not bad advice either, right? But it is a myth to think that that is going to fix your problems. Taking a walk in nature, spending time in nature, simplifying certain things are certainly good things to do, and they certainly can help. But even if you were to do all these things, like do what you enjoy, be present, increase your mindfulness, and go back to nature, you could still live unfulfilled and not achieve that level of deep life satisfaction that I think a lot of people are looking for, and many young people are scared of not achieving. So, what is the answer? What is the answer then, right? I've got three things for you today, three keys uh, for fulfillment. So, the first is health, right? It's hard to enjoy life if your physical health is in absolute chaos. Sometimes we feel like we don't have a lot of control. You may suffer from a medical condition. I know that I have had my fair of health challenges. And when I've been in the bottom of feeling really crappy physically, it's been hard to have a positive outlook on life. It's not impossible, but it's certainly hard. And so while we can't necessarily always flip things with a flip of a switch and control all the aspects of our health, there's a lot of things that we can do to improve our health, improving our diet, improving our sleep, improving our mental health, right? But that alone is not going to lead to a happy and fulfilled life. I'm mentioning it here though, because it is a vital base, right? You can be happy also without being healthy. But if you have that energy, that vitality, it goes a long way to making you feel a hell of a lot better. So I'm going to keep that as a vital base. Relationships, a lot of people talk about that. Relationships are really, really important for our happiness, our longevity, our mental health, right? And I also understand that for a lot of us, it's not like flipping a switch that, okay, we're going to have all these, we may have relationships in our life, but they may not be where they are, where we want them to be. They may not be, um, we may think, oh, okay, I want like this loving, nurturing, supportive friend, lover, partner, or, just really great kids that never talk back and always listen. But those things, they're important, right? But that's perfection, right? Perfection doesn't exist. So we can obviously do a lot of things to improve our relationships, and I would recommend doing those things. And if you don't have any significant relationships in your life, it is important to get those. And I was in a place in my life where, when I was really sick, I didn't have any relationships, close relationships in my life. And that was a really low point. And I understand that it can take time to build those relationships, if that's where you're at. However, I've also had people that say to me like, okay, look, I've got friends, I go to the gym every day, I'm relatively healthy, I've got money, I've got success, and I'm still not happy, right? So even if you've got these two bases of health and relationships, well, what else is there, right? And this is a sneaky one, and sneaky, but this is the most vital, important component of everything as a human that you need to be happy and fulfilled, and it is progress. But it is a special kind of progress. Okay, so it's not just like climbing the achievement ladder of having a successful business or a great job or a lot of money or all those things, because but like I said, there are people like that are unhappy. Those are not, that doesn't mean that those are not pursuits that are worthwhile. They certainly are, and you can do that. However, the key is to discover what are your values, like what are the things that you truly value in life. What are the This points to the things that you really want, not the things that people told you you should go after, or you should do, or you should find. And so discovering discovering what you truly want via discovering, getting closely in touch with what your true values are, right? And then making progress in alignment with those values. So maybe it is building a business and having financial security, or maybe it is having a rock solid partnership or a marriage. Maybe that's not perfect, but that is loving and brings you joy. Maybe it is being really healthy and working on your vitality, working on your health and things like that. Maybe it is taking up a painting or sewing or giving back to others. Contribution is a really big one, but contribution alone is not enough, right? It's If I can explain this, because it's sometimes a bit abstract, it's you need to be making progress in the areas that you value, and it's not necessarily just one area, and it's not necessarily about perfection either. That's the other thing, is I've read comments from people that say, oh, well, I'm making progress in these different areas, but I'm still not happy. And it's because, one, you need to make sure you're making progress in the areas that actually matter to you, that you actually value. And two, you need to learn the skills of enjoying life, of enjoying like where you're at. And that is, yes, being present in the moment, but it goes hand in hand. It's not just because if you're not making progress in your life and you're just being stagnant in some situation, um, yes, being present and being mindful uh, can certainly help you become happier. But it's that deep life satisfaction, that sense of fulfillment, that sense of pride, that you're living into your potential, that you're utilizing your skills, that you can be proud of who you are, and I'm going to tell you, you're valuable no matter what. But we all struggle with self-worth at times, and when you are making progress in the things that you value, this sense of pride, like, I'm doing the right thing, I'm becoming the person that I want to be, I'm being the person that I want to be, I'm showing up how I want to show up. That is something that really gives you a sense of satisfaction, right? So when you put those things together, you know and you live this way, then it's not perfect, and it's a journey, right? It's like each day is a little piece of the puzzle that leads to this fulfilling life. And it is about feeling fulfilled, you know, on a day-to-day basis. It is about waking up with passion, living with purpose, and sleeping with peace, and that peace of having deep life satisfaction. Okay, so if you like, if you got some value from today's post, then please share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear from you. And if you feel like you want or need some more clarity in what you really want out of life and getting in touch with your values, then please, leave a comment, or message me. We're having our Clarity Day soon. And join me at the next Clarity Day so that you can discover what's really important to you, what really matters to you, get crystal clear, and start your journey of living a more fulfilled and happy life.